It looks like something out of a video game, but it's a reality. The rise of smash and grab crimes is unfolding like never before, all captured on camera, which you see right here. But what's the real reason behind so many retail thefts? Welcome back, everyone. Experts say the spike increased as hundreds of stores closed during the start of the pandemic, but more data points to an underground marketplace. In the end, it trickles down to the consumer. So what's the consequence and what's the solution? Here to hash it all out, we have former Arizona police officer Brandon Tatum, Keith Strickland, founder and CEO of Making the Transition, and Austin Gary, managing partner for RCR Consignment Boutique. We're going to start off with Keith, who is in studio right now. Keith, as you look at the videos back to back nationwide, we're seeing the epidemic happening. What do you think contributes to this issue on a greater scale?
First, I would say if you think about people who are already living in poverty, they already were having a hard time. People were already struggling to take care of their families and feed their children. So when the pandemic hit, people started losing their jobs or at least losing hours. You have people who already didn't have resources that are in even a worse position now.
As a community member, you work on the grassroots level to help the youth and to help juveniles. How do you specifically connect with this story, with your come-up story of learning things the hard way in life?
I would say for me personally, I can remember when I was a child who didn't know how I was going to eat or where I was going to sleep. And I remember the things that I did. I remember breaking into cars, steal car radios, and selling weed and selling other drugs on the corners. And at that time, in that place of my life, I really thought there was no other way for me to survive. There was no other options for me. So I did a lot of things that, looking back at it, what I know now, I would have never done. But that's why we have to be engaged. That's why we have to mentor. We have to give exposure. We have to create opportunities. Because if you don't, people are going to continue to do the same things.
Brandon, from a law enforcement standpoint, you help communities in situations like this. What do you make of this happening on a nationwide level with all the spikes that we're seeing in smash and grab crimes?
Yeah, I think that some of these crimes, or probably majority of these crimes, are due to opportunities. I think a lot of criminal behavior is opportunistic, and the lack of policing because of the defund the police movement and other movements that have just demoralized and destroyed the police departments around the country. They're not able to be proactive. So it creates this vacuum of a black market. And I don't necessarily think these individuals who are doing smash and grabs are necessarily the ones in the community who are struggling. I think it's people who have opportunities to make money.
I want to bring in Austin into this. You've been a victim of property crime. Your business has been hit twice. How have you been able to keep your business open in the midst of smash and grab kind of targeting your business twice?
Everyone should be accountable for what they do in reference to business. My business is not to keep me afloat. I have staff from East to West Coast. Everyone should be accountable with their actions falsely. So it's effective because I have to eat. I have to feed other families that has to eat. So at the end of the day, I have no sympathy with people that come in and steal.
I do think that we have to hold people accountable, but I also think that we have to be accountable ourselves to say that these are our neighbors, our brothers, our sisters, and we got to help them.
I respect everything that he said, no disrespect. I'm very accountable. I don't respect the people that come in to basically toxic a business that's legitimate. I pay my taxes. I'm a God-fearing man, not saying that you're not Keith or Brandon. However, I did nothing to my community. I do what I do because we gave money back to the community.
Brandon, who should be held accountable? What's your perspective on accountability?
Generally speaking, you're committing a burglary. If you assault someone while in commission of these crimes, that's a felony crime. These things are already on the books. So I think that people should be prosecuted for the crimes that are on the books. The problems that we see is that some places are decriminalizing some of these actions that are against the law on the books. And when a person, is brought to justice, they don't do any time. They get let off. They're not arrested. The prosecutors are failing to prosecute it. So I just want us to live up to the standard in which we establish, meaning that if it's against the law, let's hold people accountable to that. And that is the end of it.
If we do not help people who are in disadvantage, you're only going to have an increase in crime. There's no way around that.
The accountability is you're robbing hard-working individuals like yourself, Keith and Brandon. Why? Because at some sense of your lifestyle, you decided to do something different. And it worked out for you. I'm sorry. I
Brandon,
disagree.
as you're hearing that response, should we have sympathy for them? I mean, what responsibility do store owners have in really protecting their businesses?
Yeah, I think the store owners, if they want to be intelligent about it, they know that this is a crime that is being committed, and if you use measures like hiring security, which it costs. So don't get me wrong, it's not like they're handing out free security, but if you have the flexibility within your budget, be proactive. So hire security, lock your doors, make sure if you have a little bit more stuff there, deter some of these young people. Be in the community. I think that everybody on the panel has said something amazing and it's applicable to this situation. Be in the community, build relationships with some of these young people, and maybe you will fare better. But I do think that as a business owner, I'm a business owner, that you should be proactive in your approach to try to prevent these people from coming into your store and smashing it up and taking, all of your property. I understand that people feel sorry for these young people who are out here, but I was once a young man. I know a lot of people that grew up in the hood, and you don't have to commit crimes. But it goes back to what Keith was saying, is that we do need leaders in the community to focus on building these young people up, building their minds, their confidence, so they don't go and destroy buildings or establishments within our own community. So the bottom line with response to what you asked me is that businesses can be proactive and try not to be the next subject of a smash and grab.
Brandon, Austin, Keith, thank you for being here and holding nothing back.